Hey everyone, I finished watching the next Time Force episode, Movie Madness Part 2. I really love these episodes, they've always been some of my favorites. I really wish I had the tape growing up, because these were actually put out on tape, along with Full Exposure, one of the worst episodes of Time Force. Oh, whatever. Anyway, this was a really good one. It's a really cool conclusion to the two-parter. It fits everything like, and there's a really clever bit at the end I'll get to when I get to it. So anyway, the last episode ends off with Wes is in a standoff with Nadira, and let's see, Trip had he'd gotten away. He contacted Circuit. He's figured out what's going on with Cinecon. Cinecon is able to control all the different dimensions with that clapboard thing. So anyway, he jumps in on a horse, saves Wes from Nadira, and let's see. So then he tells Wes about the clapboard. They make a plan to get it, and then we get to see each of the Rangers in their own dimensions. And let's see. In Eric's jungle movie, he's able to escape the cannibals with the help of that chimp that he got the banana for earlier. In the samurai movie, Lucas fights off all the bad guys. He saves the girl. And there's a weird bit on Ranger Wiki. It says it in the first episode, there's subtitles for when he's in the samurai movie dimension, but in this one it says people speak English. Like, yeah, Lucas speaks English because I'm guessing that's the only language he knows. I'm assuming, I don't know. He never shows any ability to speak any language other than English. The girl, though, in this, she only says, like, thank you, I think. And she says it with a thick accent, so. And he talks first. So maybe he said something and she understood English, so she's like, oh, this guy speaks English. Well, then I can speak English too. So there was no need for subtitles if she knows English. Like, I don't know what her story is. Did Cinecon, like, have a built in story for the people in these dimensions? What are these dimensions? Are these, like, pre existing dimensions? Are these, like, actual people, or are they just all things that Cinecon made? I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. Katie's just singing and dancing with the one guy in her dimension. That's pretty funny. Oh, and it's weird. In the first episode, she sings a lot better than she does in the second episode. Huh. Weird. And let's see. Jen defeats the warriors in the Kung Fu dimension, and she gets the scroll thing. Alright, it doesn't go anywhere. Wes and Trip are able to destroy the clapboard. I keep wanting to say keyboard for some reason. Anyway, let's see. All the Rangers are free from their dimensions, and right in the middle of when the dimensions are all dropped or disappear or whatever, the Rangers all land back in reality. Eric was right in the middle of swinging on a vine and smacks right into a wall. And I guess he got knocked out by it because he's absent up until the Zord fight at the end. I've always found that so weird, even when I was a kid and I watched this. I wondered, where'd Eric go? He was there. And it's especially strange because this was all American footage too, so there was no reason for him to be gone. He could have just hung around with the Rangers. I know he doesn't like the Rangers at this point in the show, but I don't know. It seems like they could ditch that just for this goofy episode, whatever. Let's see. Rancic shows up in his Road Warrior outfit, and that's a funny little thing. They run, and suddenly they're in New York City. They say New York City, and I guess we'll have to take their word for it. They don't really show any landmarks or anything, it's just skyscrapers. I don't know, it seems like they could have had like a composite shot of the Statue of Liberty or something somewhere, or something. Come on, Power Rangers. Let's see. They turn a corner and there's a craft service table. They decide to stop and eat food for some reason. It's been a while, they're probably hungry. Then a tour group comes by, and Jen gets an idea. She goes over, tells them, oh hey, Frankie Chang is shooting a movie over on the next lot. And I love the tour guide's like delivery here. Oh my goodness, Frankie Chang! Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? The world famous movie star, Frankie Chang! Come on, let's go see! I just love how excited he is about it. It's awesome. And then Jen and the others steal their vehicle. Sure. It all ends up being like they're still in the movie dimension, so it's okay, I guess, that they... whatever. Uh, let's see. They're still being chased by Ransik and the Cyclobots, and, let's see. Oh, yeah. The vehicle runs out of gas eventually, and they all spread out, and they're all fighting their way through the Cyclobots, and Trip even comes face to face with Ransik, and it's a funny little bit with Ransik not quite knowing what to do with one of the Rangers right in front of him, and then they all escape, they regroup, and then suddenly there's a flood just out of nowhere. It's a cool effect, too, how they do the flood there. So then they're running away, and they get into this building, and they're going down hallways. There's this room wardrobe. They go in, and there's a bunch of Cyclobots dressed up in different outfits going through clothes. Then there's a big fight in there, and you see clothes flying all over. The Rangers all fall out of the room, and they're all dressed up in different, some are very silly outfits. And then Ransik and his Cyclobots are in there. They fall out, and they're all dressed up in silly outfits. And then Ransik continues looking for the Rangers. He comes to this one room where there's like a band playing. It's a really repetitive riff, but it's cool. The Cyclobots like it. They're all sitting around dancing, and I love the part where Ransik, he goes up to one of the Cyclobots, "Have you seen where the Rangers went?" And the Cyclobot just goes, "The Rangers!" And then it just keeps going like that. Then he pulls it, "The Rangers!" And then, so anyway, what's going on? The Rangers reveal themselves, they fight their way through the Cyclobots, and, they escape the building, and then they're in a desert, then they're chased by Ransik again, and, let's see. Now, the whole joke with Ransik dressing up like this, the Road Warrior outfit is from, he was in, Vernon Wells, the guy who plays Ransik, was in the Road Warrior. He played a character called Wes. Huh. Coincidence. But anyway, the scene where they're on the road looks really similar to the road in the first Mad Max. Road Warrior was the sequel to the movie Mad Max. So that's an interesting thing. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's a cool thing. And I do like, one of the things I really like, when I was a kid and I saw this, I didn't know anything about Mad Max and the Road Warrior, so I didn't really think anything of it. I saw Ransik dress up in the outfit, he has the red mohawk, and I didn't really think about it. It was just another weird thing that happened. So anyway, let's see. They're chasing down the Rangers. Oh yeah, the Rangers have their vector cycles just out of nowhere. Cinecon decided they needed a cool chase scene. So then, let's see. They're being chased by Ransik, and each of the Rangers gets knocked off their bike one by one until Wes is the only one left, and he's able to maneuver around and trick Ransik into crashing into one of the Cyclobots' vehicles. So then, let's see. Cinecon removes his DNA patch and grows, and then immediately the Rangers are in their Megazord. Whoa, what? Where? How did we get in here? And then they realize that Cinecon is still in control of the movie dimension, and he can do whatever he wants. He summons up the Q-Rex, then he even summons the Transwarp Megazord, which is the yellow Megazord that launches the other Megazords through the time portal. Now, as a kid, I freaking loved this part, because, I don't know, in every Power Rangers season, there's always, like, some weird character that I get, like, attached to, and I don't really know why. In Time Force, it was the Transwarp Megazord. I thought he said Transport or one of the Rangers, I thought they said Transport Megazord. Either one makes sense. On Ranger Wiki, it says Transwarp, so I don't know. Is it Transwarp or Transport? I don't know. Whatever, anyway. I always liked that Megazord. It had a cool look. I always wondered what the story was behind it. And it's neat that it gets to join in on the fight, kind of. I also like how it launches itself through the thing. Like, it, like, spins its arm around and then just, boom, whacks itself through the portal. And that's pretty cool. Let's see. So anyway, there's, let's see. Oh yeah, the Rangers, they try to fire at Cinecon, but it doesn't work. And Cinecon reveals that he has a script. A magic script that he can control everything with. And if it's not in the script, then it can't be done. But then, suddenly, the Rangers can attack him because it turns out the last page is missing. And then Trip is like, "Oh yeah, I took the last page out of the script when I went to get Frankie Chang's autograph." So that's a really clever way to conclude everything. It's awesome. I love that. Uh, Very rarely in Power Rangers is there a twist that pays off this well, or that's done, like, this well done. Like, usually when there's some kind of clever way to defeat the monster, it's set up, like, really obviously. Like, they make it really obvious. Like, I'm thinking about Dino Fury now, and there's so many episodes where, like, immediately from the beginning, I'm like, yep, I wonder where this is going. Oh, hey, they mentioned this one weird thing that they've never mentioned before. I wonder if that's going to come into play. Up there it is. So anyway, I really appreciate the writing and like just all the care that went into the show in this era of Power Rangers because it's going to get a lot worse later on. So anyway, the Rangers defeat Cinecon, and then the Rangers are all back at back at the clock tower. They're watching the Frankie Chang movie that they saw shooting. Huh. So how does that work? Was this like a previously shot movie the Cinecon was trying to recreate? Did Jen bring this movie from the future? Are they watching a bootleg copy? Whatever. Anyway, it's a cool thing. The Rangers sit around discussing their experiences in the movie dimensions. And this was a cool episode. I really love this one. The One of the weird things is Cinecon's powers, and this was a problem I had in what was it, Love Struck Rangers, where the bad guy had like a magic bracelet that she could zap people with to make them fall in love with her. It's kind of weird because the mutants in Time Force, for the most part, their powers come from like their own selves, like they're a result of their mutation or they're related to their mutation in some way. But in here and in that episode, it wasn't the monster or the mutant themselves, it's some other thing. In that one, it was the bracelet with Cinecon, it was the magic clapboard, the magic script pages, or even like he had a megaphone that he used as a weapon. He didn't really have any powers of his own. He mostly, like, yeah, without any of that, he was easily defeated. Which isn't bad. And also for a silly, goofy episode like this, it's way more forgivable to have, like, magic whatsits that don't really fit the tone of the rest of the series. Unlike the other episode where it was, like, just a standard episode. And I really didn't care for it. Let's see. So, I don't know what else to say about this one. Time Force had a really good balance between like goofy episodes and the more serious toned episodes, and I think they did a really good job of being able to pull it off. Very similar to like an RPM. RPM was really good at balancing serious moments with really goofy moments most of the time. Uh, this is very similar, and I really appreciate like how they're able to achieve a balance of serious and silly because in the future it'll get rarer and rarer to find like a good balance of stuff, like a good variety of episodes. Let's see, next season is Wild Force, which was mostly like a serious tone season, although it's a bit different than like Time Force's style of serious. Wild Force was more like the Sentai style. Ninja Storm was more of a outwardly goofy season. Dino Thunder, I don't have clear memory of. I don't remember. I remember I didn't like Dino Thunder when I was younger. And I didn't like it when I tried to rewatch it. Hopefully, maybe I'll like it better this time. I remember, like, there were some things that really, really I didn't like. SPD, I think, had a decent balance of, like, humor and seriousness, although I don't think either of them were done that well, or done as well as they could have been. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too long. So yeah, that's all for this one. See ya.